He storms into the Good Morning America studio with tension crackling in the air, the cameras capturing every micro-expression. Howie Mandel's face is taut, his jaw clenched, as he strides toward Michael Strahan, voice low but urgent. The atmosphere shifts as something serious is unfolding. No smiles, no lead-in banter, just confrontation. The producers scramble behind the scenes. The audience senses, this is no routine interview. Mandel stops just short of Strahan, their proximity charged. He draws in a breath, his eyes flashing. He begins speaking a harsh, insistent about misrepresentation, about a question asked earlier. Strahan reacts, trying to interject, but Mandel cuts him off mid-sentence. The tension ratchets upward. The normally polished veneer of the show cracks in this moment of raw heat. The host posture falters, the teleprompters flicker. Mandel's voice climbs, accusing or at least challenging Strahan publicly. He raises his tone, demanding clarity and accountability. Strahan's face tightens. Their bodied language becomes staccato, arms shift, heads tilt. What began as an interview has become a clash of wills on live television. Howie slams a hand lightly on the desk for emphasis. The microphones pick up the thud and the catch in his voice. He challenges the framing of a prior statement, accusing the show of twisting his words. Strahan visibly collects himself, attempting to parse the accusation. The live audience, seeing this for the first time, murmurs. Cameras zoom closer to capture every flicker of emotion. Mandel's eyes narrow, voice sharper now. He accuses the production of baiting him with the misleading segue. He argues that the question was set up, that the intention was not fair. Strahan holds up a hand, trying to soften the impact, but Mandel continues. He's not backing down. The host role bleeds into referee. The dynamic is volatile. Both men circle the edges of decorum. Strahan responds, his tone measured but firm. He reminds Mandel of the facts, of the show's duty to its audience. He gestures toward the crew, to the cameras, to remind, they're live. Mandel interrupts, insisting his integrity is at stake. Their verbal crossfire escalates. Moderators and control room whisper urgently. The usual flow of questions is paused. This moment dominates. Mandel leans forward, voice loud and unforgiving. He tells Strahan he cannot let the distortion stand. He demands a correction or clarification on air. Strahan shifts uncomfortably, glancing to producers off camera. The tension pulses. The viewer watches. Is this a breakdown or a stand? The line between performance and real emotion blurs as the clash intensifies. The audience sees sweat, sees strained muscles, sees vocal cords stretched. Mandel accuses, you turned my meaning inside out. Strahan replies, that was not the intention. Back and forth, they volley. The show's rhythm splinters. There's no seamless segues now, just confrontation, raw and urgent. The hosts and guests around look on, uncertain. Howie's frustration bursts, his voice rising an octave. He accuses them of sensationalizing him. The word spin falls from his lips again and again. Strahan pauses, taking a breath, trying to regain equilibrium. But Mandel presses and he cannot, will not let the distortion go unchallenged. The crew exchange glances. Control is slipping. Strahan attempts to diffuse. Let's take a step back. He softens, appeals to calm. But Mandel is past calm. He demands they retract a question, that they apologize for mischaracterization. The co-hosts inch away. The camera shifts to Mandel's hands clenched, trembling slightly. The studio hums with suppressed energy. Mandel's voice cracks with emotion now, hurt, anger, indignation. He says he feels betrayed by the platform he trusted. Strahan, caught between obligation to the show and fairness to Mandel, navigates carefully. He concedes some wording may have been clumsy. Mandel counters, clumsy isn't enough. Their conflict becomes public therapy. In real time, the exchange grows more personal. Mandel references past interviews, prior promises, perhaps off-camera assurances. Strahan listens, interjects occasionally, but Mandel dominates the discourse. The live audience is transfixed. The screen splits to close-ups of both faces. Every twitch, every hesitation, every rising inflection is magnified. Howie, voice booming, accuses the team of ambush tactics. He demands transparency, insists the show owes him context. Strahan nods, trying to show openness, but Mandel is relentless. The conflict becomes about control of the narrative, about ownership of one's voice. In that moment, the power dynamics of media and celebrity clash. The show's producers rush to intervene off-stage. Co-anchors silently exchange notes. The broadcast teeters between regular programming and drama. Mandel rails against misquotation. Strahan responds with defense, professionalism, hands raised. It's a duel of civility battered by raw emotion. The live audience holds its breath. Mandel's tone softens momentarily as he pauses, breathing hard. He looks at Strahan, says, "I'm just protecting my truth." Strahan nods, perhaps sympathetic. But Mandel resumes, "You can't compress complex feeling into a two-line prompt." The statements echo beyond the studio, into public consciousness. Their exchange feels larger than them. Strahan, calmer now, tries to pivot. He suggests they address the issue, correct it, move on. He appeals to respect, to fairness, to the audience. Mandel remains skeptical. He insists there must be accountability. Their clash isn't just ego, there's principle at stake. The tension holds, unresolved. Mandel paces mentally and metaphorically across this conversational battlefield. He reiterates the damage of misinterpretation. He presses Strahan, "Will you correct it on air?" Strahan concedes partially. They negotiate language with apology, correction, caveat. The conflict arcs from attack to resolution, inch by inch. At last, Mandel lowers his tone. He offers a grudging olive branch. "Let's fix it now." Strahan nods, agrees to clarifications, to context, to giving Mandel space to restate. The clash yields to collaboration. For now, the live cameras pivot, not antagonists, but two voices reconciling. The tension eases. The show slowly resumes. The final minutes are awkward but essential. Mandel restates what he meant. Strahan listens, repeats for clarity. The audience watches the repair of the rupture. The usual smiling segments resume, but the air remains charged. The broadcast carries remnants of the confrontation. The emotional residue lingers. As the show rolls into commercials, Mandel and Strahan exchange a nod. The cameras pull back. The crew breathes. The studio hum returns. But something has changed. The moment exposed the tense backstage wiring. In that eruption, both men revealed fractures in mediated public conversation and perhaps a chance to heal. Off-air, whispers ripple through the studio halls. Crew members replay the moment in their heads, wondering how much of it will dominate headlines. Mandel sits rigid in his chair, still visibly shaken, while Strahan keeps his posture composed. The intensity of what just occurred lingers in every corner, as though the studio walls themselves absorb the tension. Producers debate whether to cut or replay the footage later. Mandel pulls at his jacket sleeve, a gesture betraying nerves. He leans toward a nearby producer, still animated, recounting why he reacted so strongly. His words echo with passion about authenticity and honesty. The producer nods, half listening, half calculating the fallout. In live television, moments like these become currency, trading in controversy for clicks and headlines. Mandel, however, is not chasing virality. He seeks vindication. Strahan, regrouping backstage, explains his side to another crew member. His tone is steady, practiced, yet tinged with frustration. He insists his intent was never to corner Mandel but to drive conversation. Still, he admits privately the phrasing could have been handled differently. It is the eternal tightrope for hosts. Balance the probing question with respect for the guest's humanity, and this time the rope snapped. As the commercial break winds down, there's a hushed debate. Do they bring Mandel back for a closing statement or cut to another segment entirely? The control room buzzes with divided opinions. Some want to move on swiftly, preserving professionalism. Others argue that closure is needed for viewers. Meanwhile, Mandel stands near the stage edge, visibly still ready to speak his truth again if given the opportunity. When the cameras roll once more, the energy is different. Mandel and Strahan appear side by side, more composed. Yet the weight of what just happened colors the air. Strahan's introduction is softer now, careful, almost deferential. Mandel, seizing the chance, calmly reiterates his core point, that integrity cannot be sacrificed for spectacle. The audience senses resolution, though not without scars. Online, clips from the earlier eruption begin circulating instantly. Viewers at home rewind their recordings, screen capture facial expressions, dissect every phrase. Social media floods with divided takes. Some applaud Mandel's courage, others defend Strahan's professionalism. What happened in mere minutes is already ballooning into a cultural talking point, a case study in live television unpredictability. Backstage after the show, Mandel and Strahan finally share a quieter exchange. Away from cameras, their tones are less combative. Mandel explains his sensitivity, born from years of being misrepresented. Strahan listens attentively, acknowledging the intensity of live media. They shake hands, though the gesture feels more obligatory than warm. Still, there is progress, at least a pause to the hostility. In the following hours, networks replay the confrontation, looping sound bites and facial expressions. Headlines scream about the eruption, magnifying the drama. Analysts weigh in on talk shows, dissecting bodied language and motives. For Mandel, it is a battle for truth. For Strahan, it is a question of control and perception. For the public, it becomes spectacle, consumed as both news and entertainment. Later that evening, Mandel addresses his followers directly on social media. He posts a video explaining his side, measured but impassioned. He emphasizes that his reaction came from a place of principle, not anger alone. The comments flood with support, skepticism, debate. The incident has escaped the confines of a morning show and entered the realm of cultural conversation. By the next day, both Mandel and Strahan are trending. Morning programs replay the clip with commentary, while late-night comedians parody the moment. Yet beneath the humor and analysis lies something deeper, a reminder of how fragile live conversation can be, and how quickly honesty can combust when met with pressure. The confrontation becomes a chapter in both men's careers, etched into television history,